The world is changing.
51 years ago, the War of the Wilds came to a stalemate. The people of the Graynor Peninsula set all plant life ablaze to stop the Stranglehold and built a mighty wall to keep the wilds at bay. All the while, they sat atop their monument, never truly knowing why this all began. A likeness of peace blanketed the blasted lands.
1 year ago, it all changed. An ancient god, once bound by old magic, found himself free and took his vengeance as his shackles were shattered. The mountainous city of Bulwark paid a grave price, but in the wake of this destruction comes the first glimpses of the possibility for true and honest peace.
Our heroes venture from their familiar homeland into the fullness of what their world was before the war. A world they've touched, but never truly seen. They find themselves caught between a land that has tried to end their lives hundreds of times over, and a country they helped decimate.
Under the canopy, they seek glory, truth, and salvation. The world is changing, and their hands will guide it. Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I will continue to be your GM. Today, the long-awaited peace talks finally begin. Thank you to our backers, Jeremy, Nate, and Veronica, for their support. With that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down another path.
3, 2, 1, motherfucker. Thank you for getting my reference, Zach.
Is that when Jack Black was on Jimmy Fallon and played the saxoboom?
That is exactly what that reference is. Where he's got the plastic toy saxophone.
It's the saxoboom, yeah.
And he plays it a few times, then he counts himself and just goes 3,
2, 1, motherfucker. and then all of the roots start jamming with him on the saxoboom. It's very good.
Because the Roots are the most talented band.
Oh, they're so good.
They're very good.
The fucking Roots.
You
man.
know, fucking Questlove did a song in collaboration with the fucking bank I worked at.
What?
Questlove did a song with Redacted.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your
specific branch.
Your specific branch, and I was like,
no.
Why?
That would have been weird and wild. It's still weird and wild, because we do have a much stronger presence, in the New York side of things. Yeah. But, yeah. So, boys, today has been a rough day for a handful of reasons, but there are two bright and shining spots. One, I do get to play Dungeons & Dragons with you all tonight, and I am looking forward to that. But two, equally importantly...
New beer?
Christmas beer season has begun.
Oh, man.
Got me some Mommy Bay Blitzen. I got a picture from my little brother today. He's got some Shiner and 12 Dogs of Christmas over at his place.
I gotta go get some Mrs. C's.
Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. C's. I forgot.
Mrs. C's is back.
I'm not sure if Mrs. C's is back yet.
It will be. It's gotta come.
It is still mid-October.
Yeah.
If only there was a podcast that had invented a nice, crisp, refreshing October beer.
I wonder if that exists.
A fall beer that doesn't taste like pumpkin. Yeah.
Maybe
it's not an Oktoberfest.
With hints,
those are done to death.
With hints of apple and cinnamon and...
Oh, the cinnamon would be nice.
Perhaps in a nice Pilsner format.
Yeah, something that's a nice, easy drinker that allows those tastes to go. Wait a sec, guys, we did it.
We did that.
We did that.
I think I'm drinking it right now.
There you go.
Hot diggity damn! Hey, what's that beer called?
Fuck if I know.
It's the AP Pills, available at Ice Deer Brewing in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Available only at Ice Deer Brewing in Bowling Green, Ohio.
And actually. Breaking news. I stopped in at Ice Deer Brewing today. And they now have the technology to can.
They can now. They just got a canner.
They can do that?
They just got a canner, yeah.
How many cans can Ice Deer can if Ice Deer can cans?
You mean can beers?
Yes.
Can beers?
Yes.
A beer can be canned if you can't can
beer
a
of
beer.
Cans. Wait. Nope. I'm getting lost.
Can of beers.
And if you listen to Pet Shop, you've heard this already, but we got to collab with our friends over at Ice Deer Brewing. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Hey, G. I don't know if G listens.
I don't
know
think
if
G
G
listens.
But they helped us. We got to collab on a beer, and we got to help in the brewing process, and then we got to go and drink the beer, and it was so wild.
Yeah.
Just the idea of holding this glass in my hand and going like I know I didn't make all of this, but I kind of made this. It's got my artistic pride associated with it.
Like, there was the moment where, like, I think Zach beat me there, and it was just Zach and I chilling, and I look up at the menu, and I see, like, the podcast logo right next to the beer, and I'm like, ah, shit, we did a thing.
Fuck.
There was a swelling of pride. It happened.
Absolutely.
I swelled.
There is a moment that I am looking forward to, and that is going to be next weekend when my mother comes into town. My mother, who does not understand any of this at all. Like, she kind of gets podcasts. She's a true crime gal. She does not get D&D, and she does not understand why anybody would want to listen to somebody play D&D.
But now you have a tangible product associated with it.
But I will be able to walk into an establishment I do not own and point up to a menu and say, "Hey, Ma, I did that."
Hey,
And
look, Ma, I
and
made it.
And my mother does understand beer, so she's going to get that. Yeah.
I will say real quick, vis-a-vis beer one more time, this is kind of not like a this is a secondary bucket list item for me.
Sure.
Because when I was in high school, there was a local like frozen yogurt joint down the street called JD's Frozen Yogurt, and my friend Connor came up with a concoction so wild that it got put on the menu as the name, the Connor Hall Special. And ever since then, and I'm mad because I'm the one who suggested. I was like, "You won't do it," and then he went and did it. He got the fame, so now I've got a little bit of taste of that in the form of the AP pills, and I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
The closest I had ever come to this pride and joy is getting my face on the wall of the Dave's Cosmic Subs here in town, back when we had a Dave's Cosmic Subs, for having every single Cosmic Sub. They were fine. They're all fine. I miss Dave's. I miss Dave's a lot. Like, Kebab It is great. That's what went in there afterwards. But Dave's Cosmic Subs is fucking choice if you can still find one.
I was a part of no less than 3 student films that shot in Dave's Cosmic Subs.
It was Dave's Cosmic Subs, and they were pretty much down for whatever.
Yeah. They were happy just to have people in that storefront.
That's fair.
It feels like a business that would be doing really well right now in the DoorDash era.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, probably.
Legit.
Yeah.
Legit.
So is our next milestone actually getting Dule Hill on the show?
I mean,
I think
We can't pay him in branded beer.
If he comes to Northwest Ohio.
I'm confident in saying that if we get Dule Hill on the show, I will call it there. We have made it.
That's fair.
It gets no better than this.
yeah. Well, see, Griffin also had said he was going to head up the attempt of getting Dante Bosco on Pet Shop, and that is yet to happen.
You don't know that I'm not working on that.
I mean, that's fair, but Dante has not appeared yet.
You
and
don't know that I'm not working on that.
I was kind of expecting a Dante reveal for episode 50, I'm not going to lie.
Well, 52's coming up soon.
50 kind of snuck up on us, not going to lie, but we have plans for our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
A la Zafir Shenastiliath sings the hits.
Good.
That is in the works for the ad for episode 52.
Perfect.
That and we have ideas for episode 69. So
Nice.
because we're also
Ways away
coming,
still.
we're coming up on that one soonish rather than late-ish. So
It's late by the time your crew gets back to the Temple of the Lords of the Forest. It's been a long day. You got a lot done. You saw some people you haven't seen in a long time, and some that you wish you could have extended that parting even longer. But we rejoin back at the top of the tower, not at the top of the tower, back in your room in the Hall of Open Secrets. And you are sloughing off the cold weather gear that you had, whatever lightly you did end up putting on, and you have a couple of minutes to kind of convene.
So, tomorrow's big day, I guess.
Yes.
Well, the originally planned big day. We've had a lot of those lately.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we could, go out, blow off some steam for the night, just really take our time and drag the evening out.
You see,
I don't like this plan.
I am of the mind where we have to, have clear heads tomorrow. So, I might go, beat it once and then go to bed.
Cool. Thank you, Zafir.
Hey, I'm open about my
We've been traveling for
sexuality.
so long, and I consider you like family, and I did not ever want to know your masturbatory habits.
I mean, look, it clears the mind, eh?
I don't. You can stop there.
Okay, well, no one come into my room.
I wasn't planning on it.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Johnny's good out here.
Does Rogar maybe want to hang out in my room tonight?
Yeah, I mean, at least for a little while. Yeah, Rogar, go hang out with Hugo for a bit, okay? Do
Go
it.
play with Rogar.
You got it, boss. Hugo immediately gets onto Rogar's back, and they gallop off down the stairs.
I just hear Hugo squeak, because unlike the other two, I don't have a permanent
Right.
communique with my animal.
That was for the audience.
I know, they can hear it, but they can hear his inner monologue, but I just hear very deep squeaks.
Squeak, squeak, motherfucker.
I believe Hugo Mouse does not make squeak noises. He just says squeak.
I mean, I will accept this canon. I mean, aside from, you have successfully talked me out of my wanting to heist underneath the temple, so I think the only plan is, we show up as Amarea's honor guard tomorrow, try to play it... I was going to say we try to play it as neutral as we can, but I don't really think we can do that. We're kind of biased as all hell. But
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
if we go into this championing Amarea, because no one else is going to do that.
Right. That's kind of why we're here.
Yeah. You know what's kind of been not bugging me, but I've been thinking about it, and I have no way how to gain the answers or more information about it.
How a giant tiger is terrorizing the countryside.
What?
Isn't
What?
that Mantalum? He's like a tiger folk. Right?
Oh, okay.
I
He's
thought
not shy. He's person-sized.
he's just a big guy.
Okay.
He does
Fair.
seem much larger than life.
Weren't you at the meeting with him or something?
No, he didn't show.
Oh. What
Well-
the pots?
Right?
What I was going to say is what Amber Eye's involvement is in all this. If I'm remembering right, he recognized Amarea when we brought him down. He, called...
Amberai is very old. He is from my time. He at least knew of my bearing, if not exactly how I ended up where I did.
I guess I just don't understand him at large, because he's like a big half-spider thing and apparently is ancient, but not a god.
He used to be a man. The spider parts are machine, like the Amber Forged.
Yeah.
In order to sustain his life, he merged himself with his creation. I'll be honest, he has been an ally, but he puts me at ease as well.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what his stake in all of this is. Not that I think it necessarily... Well, there were Amber Forged out at the camp, though. There's that one Vox, I think we learned its name was. Their name was. I don't know. This is idle thought at this point. There's nothing really we can do about it. Amber Eye's kind of been on my
If
mind.
you're going to join cultures and countries together that hate each other, you might as well bring Amberforged into the mix at the same time.
Yes.
Amber Eye doesn't gain anything from staying in the shadows any longer. If everybody's coming together and trying to make peace across the world and everything's about to change, might as well join in now. I've been thinking about this a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's about all I've got I'm ready to get 4 hours of sleep, and then, yeah.
Well, I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another brilliant plan to get us all killed. Or worse.
Expelled.
Not let into the meeting tomorrow.
Does anyone have like a salve or perhaps some lotion?
I am
No, Scott! I almost offered you something, and then I remembered, you dirty fuck. What's wrong with you?
Look,
Digitate something.
Look, I haven't had a release since that shifter girl I snaked out from under you.
Jeez,
I didn't you squeak one out while we were still at the inn? I thought that was a thing.
I mean, I said since the shifter girl that I snaked from Mordecai. That was the last time. Okay, we've been busy.
I'm going to bed.
Mordecai's door slams. Don't yell at me for not being repressed, Mordecai.
The door opens for a second. Closes it again.
What if I like being repressed?
Don't put words in my mouth, you dirty monster. You bastard man.
Right before Jackson goes to bed, he pulls open the paired scroll to see if there's anything from Addie.
There's no response.
And seeing no further response, he grabs a pen and writes, Dear Addie, the delegation has arrived. The summit is set to start tomorrow. Please see if you can figure this thing out. XOXO, Jackson.
Mordecai goes into his room, fuming a little bit at Zephyr, but it fades quickly. He did this somewhat recently before, but we'll call Hugo up. We'll take out the inert tiny pony, Benjamina. We'll pull out the chia pet that Jackson got for him, the beangle. He'll take his necklace off, which he very rarely does, and lay it out and look at all of the pieces of just kind of lay these kind of out in front of him.
Yeah.
And he views it as almost kind of like aging a tree by counting the rings, taking note of everything, because it started with the original necklace, and then the bead from Cenas, the crow skull, the Mavo amulet, all of these things we've acquired in the wilds, and he just kind of takes a second to try to center himself and try to be confident in his identity, not as a fighter of the peninsula, not as an agent for the wilds, not of either ancestry. Just tries to take a second and gets a little existentially, who is Mordecai, and just tries to calm himself and prepare for tomorrow, because he knows he's going to need to do his best to be neutral, and he knows that's going to be hard. And then gives Rogar, who's in his room, a little scritch, packs everything back away, and turns in for bed.
The morning comes a blasé slate gray across the sky. The sun is definitely rising, but the sky is growing darker. Snow is back on its way again. You awake to quiet sounds of movement in the main room. Peeking your head outside, you can see Penat and his cadre of associates setting breakfast up for you again. Who do you think's the first one up?
Jackson's probably been up for a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. You pop on out there, and they are getting things ready for you. Good morning, Commander Silva. How are you doing today?
Morning. What we got for eating?
Oh.
Big day. Big day.
Yes, it is. How was your meeting last night?
Is it just him, or are there other people?
There's a couple of other servant types, but
Sure.
They seem to be busying themselves.
It was productive and as quiet as we could hope for. Thank you.
Excellent. Always happy to hear when things are going smoothly and quietly. I do like order among things.
Yeah, much better than that door that wouldn't open the other day. I'm glad you fixed that. Did you get that dwarf to fix it?
Oh, he is being himself.
about this kind
Be
of
a shame
thing.
if the Hall of Open Secrets wasn't in tip-top shape for such an important meeting.
It would, but I imagine things will be fine for today. Honestly, hasn't been too keen on coming by, but the guild leaders are finicky. They have their egos, and if we do not properly stoke them, they are like to do what they will. I imagine we will see a handful of them today, if not in full force, at least some will come by.
Are we expecting any trouble?
I wouldn't be, no. It would be a foolish move to attempt to try and start something with so many individuals nearby. The folks that were sent from your side of things, by and large, they are not simple politicians.
That's true.
And I will say it has been a controlled link that we have informed certain individuals within the political structure of the city that there are powerful people coming over. And it would be certainly embarrassing if a local guild leader had to be dispatched by an outsider in our halls.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over too well. Be funny as hell,
No.
though. I mean, for me.
It's not unfunny to me. Anyways, there is sausage and eggs and some bagels with creamed cheese.
The creamed cheese. The
The
best
creamed cheese. Yes.
Hey, Panat, I've got a question for you, because you seem like a well-connected sort of person.
I do what I can.
I'm guessing at this point you've heard that we're going out beyond the autumnal line.
I have heard something to that effect. I've been told to alert one of our contacts who is able to maneuver those pathways a little bit better than most.
Yeah, would you happen to know who that is that they're trying to send with us? We were told there was a person, but we would greatly like to know a name.
Captain Silver, there's more than one reason I sent you to the Sword Quill.
Dope.
Shit.
Master Shadowstep will be more than capable to secure your safety, so long as you follow his directions. I have been only in the forest but for a night, and it is a night I will not be forgetting shortly. You will want to break the rules at some point. I advise you do not.
Good to know. Good to know. Thank you. We were concerned that they were sending some government stooge just to send us all to our deaths, and then, halfway open Amareus Temple, and then they swoop in and take all the power away. Good to know that this is actually a person that we like.
I like to keep things in order.
Thank you. I'll go wake the others.
Of course. You should be aware the contingent from the Grenorian Peninsula will be arriving roughly at 10 o'clock. I would advise you be out front about 1:45. You have 2 hours.
Panat, if you ever need a job not here, I will find you work.
And he puts his hand on his shoulder and nods his head. I am here to help. And he walks away.
Hey, you know what I just realized? With the level up, my hit points have reached 69.
Nice!
Also, have I talked on mic about my theory about what's his first name?
Rakar.
Rakar Shadowstep.
About my theory?
I would love to hear
I don't know
this.
if you've talked about it over the mic.
Not
I
live
think
on mic.
I think Rakar is Bilga's dad, because he's a full-blooded orc and he uses shadow magic. And he mentioned he used to spend time in Bulwark a long time ago, and Bilga doesn't know her. Like she was orphaned. She doesn't. He talked about how he was sent. Like he got essentially kicked out of Bulwark for one reason or another and had to flee. And he's a sorcerer. I think I remember hearing before we knew who it was that, like, our guide was supposed to be a sorcerer. Like, I'm pretty sure Rakar is Bilga's dad. I'm just saying. Like, I'm not fishing for information from Chase. We've had this discussion off mic already. But I think Rakar is Bilga's fucking dad. Just saying.
Poker face.
Poker face, poker face.
Jackson wakes everybody up. You've got 2 hours until go time.
Zap's in a fine mood.
I believe it.
Jackson wakes everyone up by finding Saphir's lute, or what's the other instrument?
It's my Meneley's mandolin.
Yeah, Meneley's mandolin. He finds Meneley's mandolin laying on the couch, strums 4 very bad chords, and attempts to play taps poorly, but loudly
on a dulcimer.
It actually comes out as Welcome to the Black Parade.
There you go. Because it's actually
Jackson's theme song.
Because it's actually a sitar. No, yeah, it's a sitar, right?
Oh,
Yes, it is actually a sitar, but when you are attuned, you have big troubles with calling instruments the right instrument.
It's so good. Mordecai gets up, and a question, Chase. Would, in my time pre-campaign as a spy, essentially under my father's employ, obviously we didn't wear like uniforms or anything, but would we have had any sort of like insignia or emblem?
Yes.
On the sly?
You would have, yeah. It is, for dress occasions, it was a single, like, tan hill underneath an eclipse.
Okay.
It was an emblem that you would have on a sash, along with any medals and adornments you would have. Okay.
Would I have any sort of, like, excuse me, that in, like, a pin form, or any sort of medallion form? Because I want to add that to my druid necklace.
Yeah.
Situated just above the Mavo amulet.
Yeah, specifically for your services at C-34 when all of that went down. You were awarded that emblem on a medallion with a black gunmetal border.
Cool. Then I would situate it in the large necklace at this point with its multiple layers, situating it just above the Mavo amulet so that both are on very clear display.
Absolutely.
And I'll
all right. Any other...
join the rest and eat a huge breakfast.
Oh, for sure.
You go, eat up, big and strong.
He eats a whole pancake.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
Oh, easy, buddy.
Squeak.
I make him
Yeah, he's like a ball, and you can, like, roll it.
Like a cartoon.
He's like a Squishmallow?
Yeah. I make him a small bicarbonate of soda.
Excellent.
Mystery had a tummy ache, so I made her a bicarbonate of soda.
All right. Any other morning prep?
No, I'm just get all my gear situated.
I'm wondering if I should waste some of my juice so that I can do this sort of...
I guess that's up to you, Zaf. I mean, like, here's the thing. I'm not necessarily anticipating things going bad, but, like, if something... this is the first time in a really long time that any Graynorians have been... any very important Graynorians have been in Lee. If they were gonna try to cause some shit, to blame it on them, now would be the time.
So, here are the choices, because I have the ability to sort of interrupt some spells as they happen, but if I want to be able to do that, I will not be able to, read the entire room's thoughts.
I think knowing what people are thinking is going to be more handy than stopping a spell. I don't expect trouble, and if there is trouble, there's a lot of powerful people in that room.
This is true.
This is fair.
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
What do I spend them on?
Literally anything.
Well, don't give me that idea. Then I'll do something dumb.
I mean, like, I mean, don't witch bolt the windows out, but, like...
All right, cool. I'll cast sleep on Mordecai.
It transfers over to Hugo Thickmouth.
Well, I don't know if you could get 100 on however many d8s that is.
Well, so at 4th level, that would be, oh goodness, what, 9 d8s? Wait, no, it'd be a lot more than that. Because 2nd level is 7, 3rd would be 9, so it'd be 11 d8.
which could not make 100.
I can't make you fall asleep, Beans.
Ah! But Hugo and Rogar and Gary all fall asleep.
Cool. Nice.
What did you do?
They'll be awake, it's fine. And then they wake up and I do it again.
I jiggle Hugo's belly. Wake up, buddy.
I know they were good
then it happens
pancakes,
again.
but come on, Gary.
If you give a thick mouse a pancake. Anyway,
He's gonna want to take a nap.
Zephyr, your expanded sight reawakens, and just like last night, everything around you, except for the people, kind of desaturate, and you get a scrolling surface-level read on everybody's thoughts.
It went well, Mordecai, just in case you were wondering.
I wasn't.
But were you, though?
Ticker across Mordecai said, I wasn't.
I love you, too.
As we're all finishing up breakfast, Jackson kind of just pushes his chair back and grabs his coffee mug and stands up and says, "Well, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long couple of days. It's been a long couple of years. And it's been a long damn war. But we might get to end all of that today. Huzzah!" And he casts motivational speech.
What?
Is that a thing you have?
It's a thing I have.
Is that one of the fucking Ack Ink spells?
It's one of the acquisitioning spells.
Okay.
You address allies, staff, or innocent bystanders to exhort and inspire them to greatness, whether they have anything to get excited about or not.
God
I choose
damn
5
it.
creatures that can hear me, so I pick the 3 of us, Amareya and Baelit, for the duration, which is an hour, so this will mean shit in the long run. But I just wanted to do this spell. For the duration, each affected creature gains 5 temp HP and has advantage on wisdom saves.
Ooh.
If an affected creature is hit by an attack, it has advantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Okay.
Once an affected creature loses the temp HP granted by this spell, the spell ends for that creature.
Well, we've got 2 hours until we're even meeting the retinue. Do you want to save?
Well, I will say that
This is
happened
my
towards the
motivational
tail end of that.
speech.
Okay.
Huzzah!
Yeah, that'll happen right before y'all head down.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
you'll have that for a couple of
Choice convos.
You are a kind of benevolent GM. I was mostly doing it as a goof, so thank you for letting it actually maybe have impact. I mostly just wanted to read the spell description.
It's a good description.
Yeah.
I forgot that I have that source book. I should use that at some point.
It says, "I once heard a motivational speech by Jim, and it was the worst 90 seconds of my life."
My favorite spell from that supplement is the one where if you, say a gaffe, you can cast the spell and the person you're talking to forgets the last 6 seconds of what you said.
That is very good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's called the Gift of Gab.
Your crew of 5 makes their way down the winding staircase, and this time you are actually directed to leave through the normal exit, which you haven't done since you initially arrived.
What is, if I may ask Zephyr, what is Zephyr's garb for the day?
I think Zephyr's going in the sort of crossover robes he's been wearing.
Okay.
He's been, sort of tying in some of his Greynorian look and his Wilds robes into a sort of cohesive fashion. So we're walking down, I'm plucking on my lute, going, way up we go. We gonna burn these peace stalks down.
Roll me a performance check.
Oh, that's going to be very good. Yeah, that's it. 26.
You get a couple of, eyebrows raised looks at you because, burn those peace talks down.
Sorry.
But it's enough of a bop that they let it slide.
Yeah, it's a colloquialism, like when you're blow the roof off, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. We gonna burn these peace stalks down.
As you are making your way down the spiral staircase, you actually run into Ligo and Agas, the bishop and speaker of the Tangle.
Ah, hello there, Archbishop Ligo, Speaker Agas, how are you?
The bishop waves and begins to make her hand motions. A guest speaks up. We are doing quite well, thank you, gentlemen. How are you all doing today?
Doing well. We are heading down to wait for the Graynorian retinue and ready to sort of get this whole thing popping, eh?
Absolutely. Will you be staying for the duration of the peace talks, or will you be taking off?
We have sort of some things that we need to see to, but we will be staying for the sort of opening statements, and then we will probably be on our way, and then if we can make them back for sort of the end game of things, then we will. Certainly. We hope to do so.
If you would like, I would be more than happy to summon Master Shadowstep to arrive here tomorrow morning, if you'd like.
I mean, that would be great. Were we going to leave...
At the very least.
Were we leaving tomorrow, or were we going to leave later to... I don't know how long peace talks, like the opening sort of ceremonies go for, usually.
I mean, the opening bit should be done by noon. I didn't know if you wanted to leave today or not.
Well, yeah, we frankly haven't decided. So, what do you think, boys? Do we want Ricard to just meet us tomorrow morning?
Let's leave at dawn.
We'll leave at dawn. That would be great.
Leave at dawn. That way Chiron doesn't have to get bent over getting pulled out of this.
What of Master Chiron?
We've hired him on as a sort of an independent contractor.
I suppose that is your right. Very good.
So, yes. But yes, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much, Agas. Thank you, Archbishop Ligo.
The two of them confer for a moment and then turn back to you. We will have Panat have Master Shadowstep summoned for tomorrow morning. Do you need us to alert Chiron as well?
No, I think we can handle that.
Very good.
Yeah, I gotta take him money. Shit.
Oh, damn it.
Shit. Fuck.
I forgot to ask my mom for money.
Well, you'll be seeing her soon enough.
No, you didn't hear that, Archbishop.
That was out of character.
I realized what it sounded like because I was talking like this, but that was out of character.
Jackson does just say shit, and then we move on.
I look at Ligo and I go, yes, this is very out of character for both of them. We will see you at the talks. And I'll just walk past them.
Fair enough.
It's going to be so awkward in the middle of this hyper-important ceremony to sidle up to my mom and say, hey, can I borrow like $50?
Can I borrow a 20 spot? I need some gas. I need it for gas to get home.
I owe a friend.
My friend's giving me a ride.
I'm good for it, Mom. I promise.
Holy shit.
Dad wouldn't question it.
Go ask your father. He's in another country.
He's not even using the right name right now. Yeah, no, go down and wait for our Graynorians to show up.
You head outside into the muted, cold light of day. The processionary area that you rode in on the other day looks immaculate. They position you at the end of it where the bishops were standing the other day. And slowly but surely, they all do trickle out and meet you in that area.
I give the nod to Archbishop Grex as he comes out.
He gives you a nod back. I would like everybody to roll me perception checks, please.
Gladly. I should have cast a spell. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Beans.
I haven't seen, oh, goodness, give me a moment. Archbishop Messis since the other day when I totally showed her up. So when she walks out, I give her a nod.
And she nods back. And the only thing you see in her feed is Shenistiliath. You notice, actually... So, okay, actually, we'll go through here. Jackson, what was your perception?
19.
19. Griffin was 8.
Oh,
Zach?
I haven't rolled yet. 10.
10? Okay, cool. So we will go from top down. Jackson, actually very appropriate that you are the one who rolled that. You, as you're looking down that processionary way, you see a lineup of several of the guild leaders, most of which you recognize from the meeting the other day.
Sure.
You see the human Aquila. You see
You see Fior, Rini.
You see, yep, Fior. You do see Azurite very far down. They are a ways away from you all, and they are lined up in such a manner that clearly they are there to be kind of not a part of the procession, but to witness it and to officially like see it. But they are like a solid like 500 feet away.
Gotcha.
So
Are those
but
like
you
the
see,
guild people?
Yeah, those are the guild leaders. Do we see Mantellum?
You do.
Oh.
He is the only tabaxi, and you see him. He is very tall and powerfully built. He's got a very soft-looking suit, and his hands are placed in his coat pockets. And he is just kind of watching everything go by. He is positioned a good way away from where everything would be, but clearly he wanted to make his presence seen there.
He is visibly here.
He is here.
Do you point this out?
Yeah, I lean over to Saphir and say, "That's him. He's not as tall as I expected."
Is Mantellum his true name?
You can't tell. He is too far away.
Beans. Oh yeah, that's a range. You forgot.
Yes, it has a range of 60 feet.
60 feet. Beans.
You can go find out.
Yeah, I need to. I think we're like expected to stand here though.
Yes, we are. You can go find out.
It would be a serious breach of protocol, but you could.
Yeah.
So can how far away is he? He's too far, like, to make eye contact with him or anything like that?
Yeah.
We're in front of a crowd of people. I can't really step away and turn into someone else at the moment.
Fair enough. I mean, there could be...
And then I won't be standing here.
There could be time for it later, yeah?
Zephyr, what you notice with your 10 is that the minds of the bishops are notably clear. They do have a sporadic surface level feed.
They're keeping it calm, or...
But they're keeping it calm. You've also experienced this a little bit, because you have detect thoughts, don't you?
Yeah.
In your time with using detect thoughts over your years of having that spell, you know that those who are trained in sort of like meditative lifestyles are able to kind of, dial that back and kind of have a more mindful presence. So they do not have a surface level feed. They think everything, or, they think more things at that deeper level.
Gotcha.
So it does require probing.
You see that Turbedo just has a thing cross through his feed where it says, "Did I leave the oven on?"
I bet Jackson can do that on accident.
Yeah, that scans. 100%.
You just think about you hyper-focus on one inane thing for a really long time.
He's very good at it.
Yeah.
And Mordecai, the guild leaders are pointed out to you, and you make note of them. Mm-hmm. And you obviously cannot get the reads that other folks can. What you notice is that more people are turning up. Like, certainly more than yours, but you also didn't camp outside the city the night before coming in.
Sure.
So pretty readily, right at 10...
Just like a crowd? Or like...
Yeah, a crowd.
Like of spectators?
Yeah, of people.
Okay.
And it's not the hodgepodge of people that had, like, leaning out of windows,
right.
Beginning of Beauty and the Beast style watching you.
Shaking a handkerchief.
Right at 10, you hear a bell chime across the city. Murmurings kind of make a wave towards you. The gates are open. The contingent has arrived.
I will use the Pendant of Eagle Watch to cast my vision up and just check their approach. See if there's anything unexpected.
Everything looks pretty on par. The crowd does kind of disperse a little bit as you get closer to the gates themselves. Seems like the initial entrance was a little bit more heavily policed, but you see the entire contingent you saw from last night marching in. You see the glinting of metal off of the Amber Forged, and you see the contingent from Graynor astride not Kyrip striders, but horses.
Who is leading the procession?
There are two people at the head. One of them is a Amber Forge. You cannot tell. The other does appear to be one of your contingent, but you are so high up you can't tell.
Okay.
You do find out momentarily, though, like about 15, 20 minutes, everybody gets close and you can actually start making folks out. It is Vox at the head. Vox is wearing the traditional Amberforge style of black robes. They do also have a kind of like a wide-brimmed hat that is slung over their back. Next to them, riding astride a horse, is Justicar Vin.
Vin was the highest-ranking non-mage that survived the decimation, so he's taken a real leadership role as of late.
Was he really?
All mages were effectively second-class citizens. So Vin, not being a wizard, he was a straight-up politician, and he got that position by talking and finagling. He's good for this. You can hate that, but it's true.
I would try to just tip off my associates near me just to let them know. It's like, just, uttering quietly, Vin's at the front with Vox.
Fuck.
But I see everyone I expect to see. Kaelin Kane is there. Mm-hmm. The bishop's there. Coppersot's there.
Ooh, it's Kaelin Kane.
Can I get your autograph?
We do start that crowd whisper.
Going down the list really quickly so that we don't have NPC soup this entire time. We do have a part at the full contingent from Graynor is Grand Entreater Kaelin Kane, who is the lead warlock of the general. Archdruid Leia Bulwark. Woo! Grand Justicar Saunio Vin.
Grand Justicar.
Security Magistrate Kotigo Vici. Trade Magistrate Sanitas Ether. And Bishop Nohilo. From the contingent from Erden. So this is the individuals from below ground. It is an entirely Amberforge contingent. Gamma, Vox, Sigma, Tau, and Iota. Led by Vox.
Coppersot's there too, yeah?
Coppersot is there.
Okay.
And as you see all of these individuals making their way towards you, you can see the prisoner contingent at the very end. They are riding each on a horse, their hands tied almost ceremonially at this point in a single silken cord. And you do see Coppersot at the head riding next to Cenas. And there are several others behind.
This is the first time Mordecai has seen his uncle since the Hedron.
That's true, because I don't think you got eyes on him last night.
I did not.
You were busy.
He's alive, but he's
probably
rough.
Like very gaunt and sallow, malnourished.
Mm-hmm. And as they make their approach up to you, you can get a better look at them. It seems
I'll snap out of Eagle's Watch.
You see everybody, the main contingent is looking good and healthy. Zephyr, you don't see anything terribly odd going through the mental feeds there. It is just jitters, mostly. Of course, you don't get anything from the Amberforged themselves as everything kind of pulls up right. It's kind of like the first episode of Game of Thrones when the contingent from King's Landing gets to the north is, it takes a while for everything to actually properly park up right. Because you do also see the contingent from, like, the prisoners are there as well. And Zephyr, you can kind of zero in on each of them, and they are all named, and you can see each of them has like a bit of a magic spark about them. But the one thing that you do notice that is readily apparent to you is that they all have a similar train of thought. What happened? We're here, we're safe, but what happened? After a moment, when everybody has settled, Grand Justicar Vin.
Fuck that guy.
And Vox both hop off of their steeds and present themselves to the bishops.
Mordecai straightens up the extra 2 inches.
And it is Vox who speaks first. Bishops, we are grateful for this opportunity to speak of peace rather than war. Vin speaks up. Yes, I do thank you for this opportunity. We are looking forward to creating a peaceful society together. Trebeto's clearly about to speak up when Grex just speaks up instead. And we are glad to have you all here. Truly and honestly, thank you for making the journey. We know it was not easy. I trust that it went well for you. Yes, quite. And we, of course, as we have discussed over Emissary over the past several months, have brought the last of our prisoners from the prison, the Hedron. Grateful to see that. Excellent. Good. If you don't mind, I want to go ahead and take a look at them and see what's going on. Of course, I'm sure you can plainly see exactly what's going on. And Grex has already just walked past.
How far is Grex from me at the moment?
Grex is about 20, 30 feet, but he is moving away from you rather rapidly.
But like as he was talking with Justicar, oh yeah, cool. So like before he leaves, I awakened mine to Grex.
Yeah.
They seem to have a gap in their memory. I'm not sure what. This is Zephyr, by the way.
He nods. It is Cenas at the head of that, and he is the first one that he goes to. And he pulls him down, and you see that feed, the second Grex walks up to him, go into overdrive. And then there's a moment he pulls him down, and they exchange a couple of words. Grex clasps him and pats him on the back, and you see the feed relax a little bit. Okay. Soon. I'll know soon. And the same thing happens with each person that he talks to. While this is happening, the Shubil Aarakocra Turbado, the Bishop of Storms, steps up and continues to speak with the two emissaries.
We are glad to have you here, of course, but please, come in. Let us discuss this inside.
And he very clearly looks over far down at the contingent of guild leaders who are making their presence kind of ominously known. And they're just standing there. A lot of them have their arms crossed. You can see at the back of that line, Mantellum is standing there, his hands still in his pockets, just looking, just watching. The bishops motion for everybody else to come inside.
Us included?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody dismounts relatively readily. The contingent of guards that were stationed at Lee and the state contingent of guards that came with the emissaries begin to get the horses stabled and take everything away. The prisoners are led in alongside you, towards the back, of course, and it is hinted that they will be taken to the temple itself for a full assessment.
I lean over to Amareya as we walk in and say, well, nobody started throwing spells around, so that's already a win, right?
I have not been to many of these, but I'm going to call this one a win so far.
Yeah. And we do our secret handshake.
Of course.
Yeah.
Often words can be more harmful than spells, so we should still stay on our toes, everyone.
Wise words. Wise words, Shenastiliath.
Do we know anything about the prisoners that the Wilds is turning back over?
You have not asked yet.
Okay, so no.
Oh,
no.
Okay, I thought we had. Must have forgotten that one. Oops.
There's been a lot of questions asked over the last
It's a long 4 days.
It's been a long 4 days.
It's been a long 4 days.
Look, you cannot ask every question.
Yeah.
There are a lot of questions. That's the thing about a politics game.
Yeah.
Sometimes things are good. If the worst thing that y'all forget is to ask about the other prisoners, y'all are really good.
No, I think we've hit the major boxes for sure, but like...
So, Grex has talked to the prisoners. Have things seemed to, like, at least in the courtyard, seem to, like, disperse a bit?
The crowd is definitely dispersing now that the initial introductions have been done.
Right.
It seems like the Wilds are not nearly as much into pomp and circumstance as good old King Graynor was. So everybody is pretty well assured that was it. They just said hi, and now everybody's going inside to have a discussion.
I'm going to, real quick, cast Speak with Animals through the Ring of Animal Influence.
Okay.
And fish Hugo out of my pocket and kind of whisper to him in my cupped hand, just, hey, keep we're gonna go inside. You can keep an eye out here if the, like, guild leaders, especially the big kitty-looking guy, if they start making moves, you try to come and let me know, all right?
Will do, boss.
You're the best. And I give him a little scritch and drop him on the ground, and we'll continue on in.
And Hugo Thickmouse runs in between several people's feet and into the thick of the crowd. lost, but for himself.
I think Hugo's the best decision I've ever made as this character.
It's not bad. And I do let you get away with a lot of bullshit, but that is because I also love Hugo.
Yeah.
Everybody heads inside, and this time the invisible stairway does work properly, and it appears rephases into this reality, and you all make your way back to the conference room that you were in just a couple of days ago. It has been reallocated to allow for more people to have a seat. You do have this opportunity, though, as you're making your way up the stairs. If anybody would like to have a discussion with any of the other people journeying with you, you are certainly able to do that. There's a lot of moving around. If you wanted to say a quick hello to somebody, you would be able to do so. Is there anybody that any of you are trying to catch a quick word with?
Yeah. I want to briefly check in with my mom.
Easy enough to do.
Don't forget to ask about the money.
Later. Have the opportunity to sidle up to her and just do a quick check-in.
Good morning, son.
Archdruid. Anything out of the ordinary thus far?
Quiet night. Quiet morning.
Good.
I didn't expect to be back here.
I'm sorry.
It is. It is.
It is. I don't know how much, if we're going to stick around for very long. We just want to be here to make sure that Amareya is, rightly represented.
Of course.
But I just wanted to check in and say hi and good luck. And if you need anything, you let me know.
I will.
I have someone keeping an eye on the guild leaders who are amassed out front. If anything untoward maybe starts happening, we should get at least a little bit of a heads up.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily expecting it, but just being wary.
Okay.
You focus on home.
Will do. Jackson, are you trying to catch a word with anybody?
Would Colonel Coppersot be the quartermaster of this venture? Or head of security, or?
She is head of security of the prisoners, and you see that she is beginning to actually make her way down the stairs to go with the prisoners. As far as she is concerned, they are still her responsibility until the meetings are done. So, but you can absolutely catch a word with her if you wanted to.
How much? God, this might just be a player asking a question. I know the answer, or I don't know the answer. How much do all of these people know about Amareya?
It would vary from individual to individual. You know, at the very least, the lead contingent of emissaries from Bulwark are about as up to speed as you could possibly be.
Okay.
You're not sure if Coppersot has been included in those discussions.
Understood. Okay. I catch up with Coppersot really quickly. About done there, then.
Nearly. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
I bet. Do you know what we're supposed to do next? Because we know, and I don't know if you know.
I know you're not coming home with us.
Hopefully, eventually. We got to go find a holy of holies out in what these people consider the wilds.
Shit.
Yeah. How well supplied are we? I need to requisition about 300 steel.
I mean, not... Persuasion check.
Perfect. This will go great. Charisma is a straight roll. 19!
All right.
Yeah.
It's an emergency then?
We gotta pay a guide.
Very well. I will... You have rooms here?
We do. You'll meet Panat sooner or later. You can get it to him. He kind of runs the whole place.
Very good. I will go ahead and get it sent. It should be there by the end of the night, assuming this individual is as punctual as it sounds like.
They usually are. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
And I just
Absolutely.
toss a quick salute and go take my honor guard position with Amareya.
All right. You resume your position. Zephyr, anybody that you are looking to talk to?
I think I might actually, after, Mord's done talking with his mom, just sort of, side up to the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, all right, so shoot straight with me. Why don't the prisoners remember something?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Does she actually not know?
She has no clue what you're talking about. It's like, what?
Yeah, all of them are sort of like thinking like, oh yeah, cool, we made it, that's good, but like how? Like what happened? So none of them seem to remember how they got here?
What did they exactly say? Think, I guess.
Like what happened was, I guess, the question going through a lot of their minds.
I mean, we haven't... It's possible that Coppersot didn't tell them what was going on, just packed them up. It's not like we got super chatty with them.
I mean,
on the road.
they cast something on them so that they weren't unruly, or
even though things have gotten more relaxed back home, I'm going to tell you right now, Coppersot is not the most keen on magic anything. I can promise you, she did not cast anything on them.
Well,
Didn't you say, or am I remembering this wrong, that like some of the power of the Hedron was like kept in their shackles or something? Why am I?
No. There were Hedron shackles. That is correct.
Would that do something like this?
It's possible.
Interfere with?
It was literally
minds like
all
this?
of them.
Weird. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know who would?
I mean, we can talk to Coppersot, but maybe something else is going on that we don't know.
Okay.
Because if it was, they seemed in relative... They've been dour this entire time. Not like people that are being, brought home with an honor guard. They've been acting strange this entire time. Also, the cuffs have been off since this morning.
Well, yeah, it seems like they're awake. They're just confused now.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, has anyone been around them aside from Coppersot?
Coppersot and a couple of her guards, but none of them are magic users either. And anyways, mental effects are... Like, if anybody tried to cast a spell on them while those cuffs were on, it wouldn't have worked. Not nearly as well, at least. It's kind of a double-edged sword that way. You can't really use magic on them, but they can't use magic on us. Cuts their communication to gods and all of that. It's kind of everything out situation.
Well, there is a thing that has happened.
I'll keep my eyes open. I'm going to try as subtly as I can to cast Enhance Ability on myself for Owl's Wisdom.
Okay, cool.
Welp. All right. Well, let's do this, I guess.
You say as the doors open. 5 of you have effectively similar seats to where you were last time. The crew of you with Amareya Dejani in the center, all grabbing a seat along one side. Only this time, the entire rest of the table is filled out, with Vin taking a position at one end of the table, and Messis taking a position at the other.
That makes sense. I slap my hand on both Jackson and Mordecai's legs, like right on the thighs. We've got these, boys, and I'll take up D6 Bardic each.
Got
Nice.
Nice.
The hand just sort of lingers there just a little longer than it probably should. It gets a little weird.
I brush it away.
I'm just trying to make sure it sticks.
Time and place.
Jackson flexes into it.
That's a firm thigh you have there.
Oh my god.
Just a good solid wink.
There is a moment of everybody sitting down, people pouring water for themselves, and there's a couple of small bowls of fruit and some charcuterie boards, and they're passed around and everybody gets their fill. And after that moment, it is Messis who stands up. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. We recognize that this is a momentous occasion, but we also would like to make this as efficient as possible. We are all here doing what must be done in order to make sure that life continues and we all flourish in it. It is our goal today to facilitate this peace. We, at least here in the wilds, have only a few requests. We want to be able to keep our gods. We would like to respect the borders established. We have affected a type of rule over the past 5 decades, and we would like to see it maintained. We are effective in what we do, and we would like to, at the very least, be able to continue to govern the way that we have been, but with a peace with our neighbors to the west and below. And she puts her hands together, nods, and takes a seat.
Mordecai very quietly mutters under his breath, "Oh, that's it?" Like super dead quietly.
Baylett leans over.
This is just the opening. Everybody's going to get out what they want in, opening salvos.
Cool.
Oh, and as he says that, Grex leans forward.
Also, y'all gotta shut down the Hedron.
Cause that's...
can I... Hell, I'm gonna curse. That's fucked.
Yeah, I will second that, and I look at Vin while I say that.
The Justicar and...
Sorry, the Grand Justicar?
Thank you. The Grand Justicar and the Grand Entreater actually both take a look at you and give you the Justicar gives you an eyebrow raise. The Entreater looks at you, smiles, and nods.
Oh, Kane.
Zephyr just immediately gets the flop sweat,
On that note, it is the Grand Justicar Vin who stands.
Thank you for having us today.
We do agree that this does need to be resolved. We are happy to observe a respectful border, but would like to open up trade as soon as possible. It is in the best interest of all parties if a healthy and vibrant trading relationship between the nations be observed and encouraged by whatever means necessary. We are open to condemning the Hedron. Although it is a special technology we are quite proud of, we are happy to let that go if that is all that need be done in order to create a true and rightful peace between our people. Though, of course, we would also want to share that knowledge with whoever would possibly want it.
I lean over to Saphir and very, very quietly say, "Do you remember when Kanye East interrupted Tanya Sway when she was winning that award? Can we do that to this asshole?"
Oh, just let. He's almost done. Just let it happen.
Okay.
I'm going to push you into traffic.
As Vin finishes up, I've got my thing up. Can I also roll insight to these are the things he's saying. Are they things that are rehearsed and scripted without any sort of actual feeling behind them? Or
you don't even have to roll it. This is definitely scripted. He sat up you can see the rings under his eyes. He is a tired boy.
Well, maybe, but there's a difference between it being scripted and clearly scripted, but is just saying it because he.
You see the line under the one thing you do see go through his feed is anything for the food.
So he's desperate.
Yes.
Things are not good. As it was indicated last night, things are a little rough at home. Maybe it's even rougher than you were initially thinking it would be.
Okay.
Cool. I like Vin being desperate, so.
At that point, Vox stands up. And Vox sets their wide brim hat on the table in front of them and puts his hands together and nods and looks up. If you will all allow me a moment, I do have a message directly from Amber Eye. There is a moment where
the hologram.
Hoping that.
They open their mouth and the sound just projects out like a gramophone.
I'm expecting an R2 Star Wars Leia moment.
Oh no,
that's what I'm
even
expecting.
Worse. All right, go ahead, Chase. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Ryan's closer.
Okay.
His head splits down the middle and opens up. And you see a terrible churning of gears and lights. And suddenly, one very strong white light flicker, 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 flicker. And above you all is a unpleasant image of Amber Eye.
I would like to thank you all for inviting us to these talks. We are here to broker peace, of course. We have few requests, really. We would like an end to the hatred. It is a crime against all of us who use magic and was the source of symptomatic oppression for my people. We do also seek a peaceful reintegration. We also seek something else. Frankly, it is unseemly to speak of it in open company, as this is something we specifically request from those who follow the Lords of the Forest. So, we will reserve that for private discussions, if possible. Thank you for your time. We are looking forward to seeing this all completed as soon as possible.
The head of Vox realigns and shuts.
Give that Iron Man sound. The clang.
Yep. Tung.
Was that recorded or live?
Hard to say.
I'm going to hear that lip smacking in my nightmares.
Yep. Don't want that.
Mordecai has a moment as Vox is reassembling, and I'll lean over to Zephyr and say, "Are we supposed to present something?"
I don't know.
Can I insight read the room or perception read the room, like if there are expectant eyes on us?
Absolutely.
With advantage, natural 20 for a 22.
If somebody wants to say something, you can say something.
I'll just lean over to Zephyr and be like, "It's up to you." Or maybe Amareya if you want to see if he's interested with your brain talking.
Okay, Amareya, do you want to say anything, or do you want us to do it?
Honestly, not. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I didn't prepare anything. All right.
You've
what you
got
do best.
this.
Improvise.
He puts a hand on your leg.
You've got this.
Go ahead and take a D12.
Fuck.
Godly inspiration.
I like a good D12 inspiration.
Holy shit.
Because it's literally a god helping you out.
I look over at Zephyr. If you don't talk, I'm going to talk, and I'm going to say something dumb.
I'm up.
So please. For the...
Yeah, you hear the uncomfortable of my chair as I stand up.
Eyes turn to you.
I am wholly unaware of whether or not we were expected to take part in this particular part of the chats.
Please, Shenastiliath, grace us with your words.
Thanks, Archbishop Grex. Look, our insight is not based off of any sort of political power or standing. We are a group, Amareya and Bailit, excused, are three assholes who sort of were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Hey. Yeah.
That's right.
Then what we found from that point is just difficult trial after difficult trial. When I was a boy, my family was persecuted. My father killed for his work, and my mother left alone to get sick and die. And I was forced to fight someone else's war with no regard for myself or my safety. And that is just one side of this war. On your side, you were sent to wage a war for reasons you are not aware of fully. And I do not want to blame your gods for this or say you follow them blindly. It is just that this war has been created solely for the whims of things that held power over us, and we are the ones who are left to pick up the pieces of it. As a little shit from Larata, I ask you, those of you in power here who can affect the most change, to please be open to these changes. Do not bring selfish desires or agendas. They want to heal and to help your people, because our two lands are divided, and the people who are hurting the most are the people who had no say in the matter, and whose families for generations at this point have been crushed and killed and burned out of their homes. I believe that's my time. I yield back to the court, thank you.
Grex claps. The rest of the room is silent. Grex loved it.
Can I, while he's saying that, can I scan and see if there's anyone, if I can pick out anyone who is like kind of like sticking their nose up or rolling their eyes at the notion of what Zephyr is putting forward? Like, specifically with the idea of putting aside personal agendas. If there's anyone who I can catch who's just like, ugh.
I need that insight again.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking.
This ought to be good.
Unnatural 20.
The room, by and large, seems to be agreeing. The Amber Forged are, of course, hard to read.
Point.
The only one on the panel that seems to roll their eyes even in the slightest is Trade Magistrate Ether. He's a human, not terribly chatty, and watching this, he just, like... It was not even like an eye roll. It was just the right sigh at the wrong time.
Sure. Okay.
And just like, okay, fine. Whatever.
I'll take it. That guy means nothing to me, so he must not be important. I've only just met him. How powerful can he be?
A few hundred yards away, in the offices of the Builders Guild, 3 figures sit at a table, laid out for many more. Mo, the head of the Builders Guild, sits with his arms crossed, dour, on the verge of petulant. Across the table, the Fearbulk, Agrippa, sits in serenity. As the head of the Beastmasters Guild, they are quite content with the current state of affairs. Mantellum, the powerfully built Tabaxi, sits with his hands folded. It is an odd position for him, and he often shifts in his seat, eventually rising and pacing. Silent moments turn into minutes, until there is a knock at the door, causing all heads to turn. Finally, they are here, Mantellum says with a smile. We can now truly begin. Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com, on Twitter at anotherpathpod, and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia. A special thanks to our donor, Nathan N., or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can also find me on Twitter at TQLoudly, Ryan at Ryan_Albrecht, Griffin at Griffcold, and Zach at that guy Zach Robb. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember to check out anotherpathpodcast.com/merch for all of your holiday shopping needs.
This has been a Ghostlight Media production.